So it is a new day here, and today we are planning on going up the mountain to try and photograph some mountain hares as well as some grouse and any other things that we see whilst we're up there. Now this is quite exciting because I get to use this lens here that I have rented, the Sony 200 to 600 f 5.6 to 6.3 beast of a lens. I've never used it before. I have hired it rather than purchased it because wildlife photography isn't something that I've really done before. I'm not too sure if it's something that I'm going to continue. However, for £185 to rent it for like 12 days, you can't really go wrong there. So I should probably put on some more appropriate clothes to go up a mountain. And now I'm ready to head off. On our journey to the mountains, we ran into an unusual roadblock in the form of a flock of ducks. Rising into the mountain, we got our first glimpse of wildlife. We saw a massive herd of red deer stags, and I got my first taste of the massive lens that I hired. Whilst I did my best with the stags, they were still incredibly far away, and I would have to wait a few more days to get some real special encounters with them. We also spotted this male red grouse who was happy to pose for us long enough to get one of my favourite grouse shots of the trip. Once we parked, we layered up and headed into the mountains just as it started to drizzle. We started to look out for mountain hares up above us on the mountain. The higher we got up the mountain, the more hares we saw. The wind and rain persisted, but it didn't dampen our spirits, and we continued to see if we could get any closer to the hares. I have to say I found it hard lugging this lens up the mountain with me, but it was totally worth it getting my first look at these stunning animals and my first real taste of wildlife photography. After about an hour and a half on the mountain, we headed down to the cafe at the ski centre to warm up and refuel with some healthy snacks. So whilst we have just got back from the mountain, I have redonned my camera gear and I'm actually walking, it's about a mile from the house, to one of the bridges that are along this sort of road because it looks so beautiful, and I want to get down and have a look and see basically what it looks like from below the road level. Having got down to the bridge, I set up my gear and started to take my photos. I wanted to be in them for a few, and I think they came out really well. In hindsight, I think wearing my yellow coat would have been a better option. However, I am really happy with the results I got for my little afternoon out. So it is now the following evening, and we've actually had a day here at the house because it has been rainy, disgusting all day. It's amazing to see how much higher the river is today compared to just even the day before. And he even went down to the bridge on our way home from town. A few of us stopped off and we walked back up, and we stopped at that bridge, and the difference, like the amount of water coming down through there today is just, oh, it's just crazy. I mean, I'll put up on the screen now sort of a side-by-side difference between the 2 days, and the actual bit where I was standing to take my photos from the bridge, you can't actually see anymore, which is just bonkers. Like, it's just raging. So one of the main challenges that I found yesterday was actually carting around the 200 to 600mm lens that I've hired from Hire a Camera. That thing is so darn heavy in comparison to my other gear that I am used to using, and when you're photographing and it's a bit breezy, it acts more like a flag than anything else, and it's quite hard to keep locked on where you actually want to be focusing and on the animal, keeping that where you want it in the frame. However, I do feel I got some good pictures with it. I did actually go into the DX mode on the camera for a little bit of extra reach, and I feel like that really did help me for this. Now, whilst we did get to see 2 more animals off my Scottish wildlife list, it would have been nicer if they were a little bit closer and I could fill the frame with them more than what I have with the photos that I've got. However, we still have a few more days here, so hopefully we'll be able to get something like that later on this week. So that is where I'm going to leave this video. If you'd like to find out more about the locations and where I'm staying and what we're doing, you can head to my website joeherd.co.uk. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed watching, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos, and I shall see you in the next one.